Roger Reina at the World Team Trials a few weeks after the big news that you're returning as head coach at Penn. Roger, talk about the decision to go back and be a Division I wrestling coach again. It's been a little while since you were in that same position at Penn.
Yeah, it's a very exciting time, Gary, for me, very exciting time for the program. We really never had more support wrapped around the program, particularly with Brandon Slade coming back to Pennsylvania and coaching our Pennsylvania Regional Training Center. So when I was approached with the opportunity, I really thought thoroughly about it, and to me, it's a twice-in-a-lifetime opportunity that I'm tremendously excited about.
Yeah, and I mean, you got into other aspects of business, both academic, athletic, things of that sort. Will it be hard to put back the coaching hat? I mean, you've always done some coaching, even when you weren't running a program, right?
Yeah, I stayed involved with the sport in a number of different ways. I chaired the local organizing committee in 2011 when the NCAA championships came to Philadelphia. And that was tremendously exciting to work in that capacity. We set record attendance at the time, bringing the tournament to Pennsylvania, so that was terrific. And then I worked with the establishment of the Pennsylvania Regional Training Center. In the past couple of years, have been coaching the Olympic level guys, including Richard Perry at the Olympic trials last year. And so, I've maybe behind the scenes a little bit, but I've remained involved in the sport throughout.
Do you think the college wrestling has changed much since you were last coaching? I mean, technically and tactically, and just the way the culture is?
So I think that from a technical and tactical perspective, it's really fascinating. I see, and I think over the course of wrestling, we see techniques that cycle through, and sometimes they reemerge. And I think there's opportunities to look for those trends, to get ahead of those trends, and that's what I'm looking for right now. I think the basics are always the basics. Look, it's a sport that goes back, thousands and thousands of years, and understanding, what's working today. I think is part of the fascination of the technical aspect of the sport. So I'm really excited about that. From a cultural perspective, obviously the RTCs are the big news here, and the R's established, with Brandon Slade as a dedicated freestyle coach. I think we're in great shape. Our radius, the 250-mile radius around Philadelphia, is as strong a wrestling or stronger wrestling radius than is anywhere in the country, in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, in southern New York, Maryland, Delaware, Virginia. So we're in great shape there, and we've got a full complement of open-level guys that are competing, 3 of whom are competing here tomorrow at the World Team Trials.
That'll be a lot of fun. So let's look a little bit ahead. When you were coaching at Penn, you guys won the EIWAs, strung a few in a row for sure. There's a team up in Ithaca that's been doing a lot in a row since you left Cornell. And obviously for Penn and anyone else in that conference, they're the target. Talk about what it'll take to get back to where you're with those guys and beating them at the big events.
Yep. So it's a great question, and Rob and Andy Noel and the Cornell group have done an amazing job. They've really raised the bar, which is terrific. And Chris Ayers at Princeton also raised the bar, which is terrific for the sport. And so our job is to get in every day and build the building blocks to make that climb. We've done it before. We know how to do it. We believe in the strength of our community, and we're aiming big. So it's going to take steps. It's going to take one step at a time, and we're just out there to get better every day and try and do it faster than anybody else.
Back in the day, we did a lot of USA Wrestling events in the Palestra and in Philly. At one point, we did some in Drexel. And is that something you'd like to see happen again? I know you're very actively involved in this organization. So.
Yeah, absolutely. The Palestra is just celebrated its 90th anniversary this past year. In Greek, it means House of Wrestling. So there's a great basketball tradition in Philadelphia and Big Five, but we've held the Olympic Team Trials, the World Team Trials, multiple NWCA All-Star meets, which actually in 2014, we held the NWCA All-Star meet with terrific attendance. It's just a great wrestling hotbed and a great mecca to draw major events. So absolutely, that's on our game plan going forward, and we'll need to evaluate what the right events are at the right times. But we love hosting events at the Palestra.
So you okay with getting into the recruiting game again? I mean, that's a little different than getting on a mat and teaching some moves.
Absolutely. I was telling someone earlier when I stepped down as coach, my kids were 9 and 7 at the time, and it was really a time for me to spend time with my kids through that time period. But the classes that I left, it was hard to leave that team from the standpoint of Matt Valenti's class. It was the #1 ranked recruiting class in the country. The freshmen that I recruited, my last recruiting class but never coached, they were the #4 ranked recruiting class in the country. Penn, the Wall Street Journal has us ranked as the #4th institution in the country. We've got a great product from an academic standpoint, professional development standpoint. It's world class, and we've got a great product from a wrestling standpoint as well. And now with Brandon and the Pennsylvania RTC, I think it's a completely differentiated opportunity. So we're looking for the kids not only that have the skills on the mat at this stage of our program development, but we're also looking for the kids that are leaders, that are pioneers, that are ready to move and advance and make the climb, and are really excited about that opportunity of their experience.
And you needed them when you first built the program, right?
Absolutely.
So you know what you're looking for.
Absolutely. This is a familiar formula, and Brandon was one of those. Clint Motter, Brett Motter, 2 other guys, and you continue to look for those people that are willing to aim big and think beyond the current contemporary thinking, and elevate everybody's expectations. And to me, that adds to the experience of someone who goes through that kind of programmatic development. It's a really exciting time for us.
Well, hey, we want to welcome you back to the Division I family. You never left the wrestling family, but it's going to be fun to see how things go with the program, and congratulations, Roger.
Thanks very much, Gary. It's great to be back.